Hello everybody and welcome back to some more runes! So on the last episode we were asking and answering random conversation starter questions, and the last one went somewhat unanswered. So, Azura, what is your dream vacation destination?
I don't have one.
Cool.
I don't really
Nice.
like going anywhere on vacation. I
I
don't
went
like
to
going
Mexico
anywhere
once, that was
warmer.
pretty
I don't like going anywhere colder.
good. That rules out everywhere.
And the places that are the same general climate, I mean, I don't really know of any that have anything that would appeal to me.
Well then. Yeah, I hear Edmonton is pretty good. Why don't you go there? Oh, jeez, I wonder why you don't go on a vacation to Edmonton. Okay, so now this is the next set of conversation starters. So, who is your favorite superhero?
Ooh. Who is my favorite superhero? That's a good question, because I don't actually know. Like, as much as I, enjoy seeing, the Marvel stuff, I don't really think I have a particular favorite. Like, I can't identify a favorite within Marvel. I mean, okay. Let's be honest here. As far as DC is concerned, I'm sorry. Well, I was about to say it's obvious, but really it comes down to two of them. Batman, obviously, and The Flash. Batman because, I mean, it's Batman. The Flash because, I mean, he's, one of the only superheroes, certainly basically the only one really in DC, that basically has, sort of a good relationship with his rogues gallery. With his villains, or whatever. It's just he doesn't just treat them like criminals. He treats them like people. Because they are. But aside from that, I mean, it feels like Spider-Man is kind of also an obvious answer.
Does it?
Like, Batman and Spider-Man are obvious answers. And and also, I guess, Iron Man. I can tell you I can tell you for sure of, as far as Marvel is concerned, which of the Avengers is my least favorite. And that's Captain America. I don't think I've seen a single Captain America movie aside from Civil War, because that was Captain America, but also Iron Man and a bunch of other heroes.
Interesting.
Captain America is just kind of boring to me. It's like, I don't know. Sure, he's there, but...
All right.
Eek. Just... what? Too unobtainable to be a realistic superhero, much like Superman?
All right. Yes.
Possibly.
Noted. I like Wolverine, and I like Deadpool. I still haven't seen Wolverine and Deadpool. I think I have the movie. Hey, Azura, do you want to watch the movie after we're done recording? Or do you think it's too late to start watching a movie?
I mean, I don't think there's any point in watching it. I mean, I've already seen it, and
So it's not good
okay.
enough to want to watch a second time?
It's okay. It's also kind of... Okay, you've seen the other Deadpool movies, right?
I think so. I've seen 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah, so you've
It's been
seen
a
them.
while.
Yeah, so you have seen the other
Alright.
Deadpool movies. How
I
many of
do
the
know.
X-Men movies have you seen? Or how caught up to them are you?
I've seen a few X-Men movies.
Did you watch Logan?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Actually, I was gonna say, I could totally do with watching Logan again. That was a nice movie.
And did you watch the Loki series
No.
through Disney Plus?
No.
Yeah, that one's maybe not so much required viewing, but it kind of is.
Yeah, I don't care about all of this superhero... Oh, you have to watch this before you watch that. I just don't care about that.
I'm just saying like the reason I'm saying that is because they are absolutely written with the assumption that whoever is watching it has basically watched everything else in the cinematic universe.
Yeah, that's lame.
I agree.
I just want to watch another movie of Wolverine or someone with Wolverine's powers ripping apart bad guys.
Fine, we can watch it. We can watch it. I assume you already have it?
Yeah,
Okay.
through my wink connections.
Would those connections be an internet connection?
Yes.
I have a feeling.
Alright, if you could have one superpower, what would it be? Like, I imagine it's really popular to say something like, oh, shape-shifting, oh, flight, oh, teleportation. Like, yes, of course, shape-shifting would be great depending on how precisely the shape-shifting works, if it transfers your clothes and stuff you're carrying or not. Because if it transfers, like, everything that you're carrying / wearing, then it's like, okay, load up a backpack with a bunch of stuff, turn into bird, fly to your destination, change back, boom, you have all your stuff with you. But if it didn't transfer all that stuff, that would certainly be not so great.
I mean, I agree, that wouldn't be great. That'd be a pretty bad superpower.
I mean, not so bad. You could just turn into a more attractive version of yourself and just keep at that forever. Just shapeshift into a form that has clothes on. You know, like V from the Owl House.
So I shouldn't shapeshift into my natural form.
But if you could choose a superpower to have, and to hold, for better or for worse.
I mean, yeah, it's... You know what? I think I want the superpower held by Iron Man and Batman. The wallet.
Rich.
Yes.
I mean, there are a lot of superpowers that if you use them in specific ways, you can become really wealthy. Like time travel.
No, I'm sorry. I know enough about those sorts of things. Time travel is not something you want to mess with.
Yeah, I could mess with it a little. Get into some sort of intergalactic time travel prison.
Look, let's just say I know enough about time travel that there's a particular phrase that, you know, is permanently burned into my memory.
Is it back from
Lightning
Back
and
to the
time
Future?
machines do not mix.
Lightning and time machines?
Lightning and time machines do not mix.
What is that? Back to the Future?
It's not actually from Back to the Future, though it was itself a reference to Back to the Future. Yeah. The thing is, with time travel, there is so much that can go wrong.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen Doctor Who.
Here we go.
And the many, many episodes about time travel in Futurama.
I mean, that all worked out in the end, eventually.
I mean, it tore a hole in the universe.
Yeah, eventually. Just go ahead to the next universe, everything's fine. Wasn't the one that tore a hole in the universe the lack of time travel?
What? No?
Yeah, because I remember there was one where all time had stopped.
Oh. No, that was the one that froze time.
Yes, the lack of time travel.
Yeah, that didn't destroy the universe. It did get undone, though.
The idea that the entire series was supposed to be a giant loop is an interesting thought, at least.
Yeah, glad that they, kept making stuff and didn't let it just end on that, doing a complete loop.
Alright, ba-ba-ba-ba. Alright, so, what's your favorite sport? What's the best book you've ever read?
Ooh. Ooh. That. Good question. And I don't think I have an answer. It's too good of a question.
Is it the best question you've ever heard?
Top 5.
Oh, interesting. Wow. What's your favorite subject in school? Or I guess what was your favorite subject in school?
Ooh. Well, I can tell you my least favorite, social studies. And the
I still
part
remember
that
it.
bugged me, I mean, when I was in school, I absolutely would have said my favorite subject was math. Since then, I'd probably say, honestly, probably more like English or the computer class. But the thing is that I resented so much. And it's so weird. Like I said, social studies, like my least favorite class. Consistently one of my best grades.
Strong, okay? Go big and strong, okay? I hope it comes out okay. Ouch.
Yeah, I used to like math class, and it's like, oh, you have to show your work for everything. And I've been on rants about how ridiculous that was at the time.
Yes.
But I primarily only really liked math because I was just so good at it.
All right.
Like, just look at the question, boom, here's the answer.
Yeah, similar situation for me as well.
And it's like, no, you have to take like 5 minutes and write down. It's like, okay, but I already know that x equals 7. Like, I did all of the steps in my head in like 1 second. But no, I have to, because I've never liked handwriting, like writing by hand. I had to do it for school for years because, well, I had to. But I never liked doing it. And then, I think part of the reason why I liked math was because it was the one class where we wouldn't have to take notes. We'd just do work like every other class. Oh, here's like 3 pages of notes you have to copy down by hand so you can study. I never actually study them. So yeah, here's 3 pages of notes you have to write down. It's like, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. Oh, now on to the next class. Here's another 2 pages of notes you have to write down by hand. It's like, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. Honestly, I should have just not even written the notes, because I never use them to study with anyway. Because all the information that we write down in our notes was in the textbooks. So I just read the textbook to study and ignore the notes. Because there's nothing that was in the notes that wasn't also in the textbook that we had. So what was the point of making notes? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes, occasionally, some people can learn better if they write down the stuff than if they just read it. Oh, cool. So because that might work for a few people, that's guaranteed to work for absolutely everybody. So everybody should have to do the same thing because it works better for a few people. Despite the fact that it doesn't work for everybody, everybody still has to do it because, you know, maybe 2 or 3 students in a class of 30 learn best by writing it down. But then the rest of us are just like, well, you have to do the work anyway because some of you might get a benefit. Yeah, for me, yeah, have me go back and do basically any tests from school. Other than, like, math tests, because math I actually remembered. I'd probably fail practically any test that I was given in school. Again, other than math. Oh, when was the Declaration of Independence signed? I have no flippin' idea, and I don't really care.
Well, that's an American thing. Who cares?
We were taught American things as well because America is so important, apparently. Was it Christopher Columbus sailed to the New World in what year? 1492. Do I know that from school? No, I remember that from a song that I did while learning piano. Because that was the lyrics, like, sailed to the New World in 1492, Christopher Columbus. That wasn't a thing I learned at school, it's a thing I learned from playing piano. Not that I can even really play piano well, but I understand the basic ideas of how to read sheet music. That has come up literally once.
1, 2,
or at least once. That has come up a few times in a non-musical point.
Oh yeah, that came up recently.
Yes. And I remember I did have a music class in school that I had to go to. We didn't have to take notes, so I liked the class. Actually, oh wait, my favorite subject in school, because I was just thinking about the mainline subjects. Bloody drama class was great. Because that's basically like just having recess again. Ooh. If you could eat one candy for the rest of your life, what would it be?
One candy.
I'm assuming it means, like, the only candy you can eat is this one thing, but you can have non-candy foods, as opposed to the only thing you eat for the rest of your life is one specific candy.
Yeah. No, I that is what I assume as well for that. Lindor chocolates, specifically the dark chocolate.
right.
Interesting.
I was so upset that after Christmas, like, I went, like, to a couple of Walmarts, because I know beforehand
Yes.
I had to take my grandma shopping, but they had all the Christmas candies including bags of like just like the dark chocolate Lindors. Well, the Walmarts I went to after Christmas didn't
Sold
have
out.
any. They sold out completely. I
Yeah,
was
you
so-
have to go like on Boxing
Big and
Day
strong, okay?
Yeah,
to buy
I
all of like
did.
the discount.
Hope it comes out okay.
I remember a
did.
few years ago I went to this supermarket and they had like
All right.
packets of like gingerbread cookies that normally sold for like $3 or $4 a packet that I got for like 50 cents a package. So I bought about as much as I could fit in my bag
Grow big and strong.
and
okay?
just basically
Grow big
put
and
them
strong, okay?
just put them in
Hope it
my
comes out okay.
pantry, cupboard, whatever,
Watering time.
and had them for the next like 3 or
Grow
4
big and
months.
strong, okay?
Didn't do that
Hope
again
it comes out okay.
this
Nice.
time. Alright, I don't know what candy
All right.
I
yes.
want.
Yes.
What is your dream car?
I don't really have a dream car. Like
Apparently some people do.
for me, a vehicle is a vehicle.
I remember when I was younger, I wanted a Dodge Neon, just because I'd been using one in a racing game, and I really liked the underglow that it had.
Okay.
But everyone told me, no, 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 that car is bad. You should go for this type of car instead. It's like, well, I just like the underglow. I already had a Paragon. Are you kidding me? I already had one. What's your favorite memory from school?
That was so long ago for me. I don't know.
I'm trying to think, and all I'm getting back is Era 404. Positive
I have
memories,
some
not
strong
bad.
memories, but I don't know about favorite memories.
I mean, I've had... Oh, wait, oh gosh, right. When I was in, I think, 4th grade, there was, apparently, the school I was going to had an annual obstacle course. They would basically deck out the entire gym in, like, an obstacle course. And it's like, okay, if you touch the ground, you have to go back to the last checkpoint. And for an added challenge, if you touch green, you have to go back to the last checkpoint. You can do the green thing if you want to, it's optional. And so there'd be like monkey bars with like some green tape like wrapped around them in place. Like there was one part where you'd get onto like one of these like, you know those scooters that they had? You'd have to get onto one of these and like push yourself off to get to like the next place. And like the scooter's like on a string so the next person could pull it back to them. Like that was great. But next year I was going to a different school so I didn't get to do that again. And of all of the schools I went to, that was the only one that had set up like an obstacle course. And I really wish that I could have taken pictures of it. Because all I have is my memory of what it looked like, which is probably not a very accurate recollection. But it had a lot going for it. What's the funniest thing you've heard a teacher say?
I remember on the last day of grade 7, I think, hearing the drama teacher at the school saying to another teacher something about it's legal to marry first cousins in Alberta.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, I didn't get the context of it, and I did not want to, and I still don't.
Yeah, you're always considered to be a creep for knowing about stuff like that. when I was about 15, 16, like almost 16, my aunt gave me like a book about like all of that sort of stuff. And that's how I know that like the age of consent in Canada is 16 because I read that book when I was like about to turn 16. But now, if someone's like, "Oh, what's the age of consent in Canada?" and I just answer 16, they think I'm a creep for knowing that. It's like, no, I just because I was about to turn 16 when I learned that information, I just didn't forget it.
Yeah, it's just like those sorts of things don't change all that often. Because it's been that way for quite a while, probably.
Yeah, like the information there was kind of jarring, so yes, I remember the stuff like, first cousin is legal in Canada, or at least in Alberta. It's like, yeah, I definitely remember that. Not that I really want to, but I do. Da-da-da. Tell me the funniest joke you've ever heard.
I don't think I can in this video.
That's fair. Thank you for showing restraint. Oh, what is your favorite restaurant? Again. They're already running out of ideas.
I guess so.
If you could be a professional athlete at one sport, what would it be? Is this going to be a different answer than what is your favorite sport?
I think the sport I would be best at would be the 100-meter nap.
What is your favorite song?
Oh man, that is a good question. Okay. Yeah, the Super Mario 64 Overclocked Remix song, Devastation's Doorway. That combines, like, some of the Bowser level themes and Bowser's theme. It is very much epic.
Yeah, I've heard a few good songs in my day. Really partial to, was it Red Lake Roses Part 2? I have quite a soft spot for that one. That is a very solid song. Especially considering that it only exists because people are like, wow, Ruby's song isn't enough about Ruby. There should be a song about Ruby. So the guy's just like, alright, sure. And just came up with that. What's one thing you learned today?
What did I even do today that I could have learned? I don't know. I don't think I really learned anything today.
Oh, right.
Today I learned that expiration dates are not suggestions.
There.
That's concerning.
Thanks,
Context?
I tried. Context? What? No context. It was a joke. The context is I was trying to be funny. And that was about it.
Easy does it.
Alright, what TV show have you watched the
Nice.
most? I think we already asked this question, didn't we?
Probably.
No, we asked what movie we saw the most. And I guess this is pretty close to comfort TV show.
Nice. All right.
I mean, considering that I can't really remember the shows I watched as a kid, it's probably Ponies. That seems most
All right.
probable. What's your favorite meal?
You know, probably buffalo wings.
Good to know. What's the best thing your parents cook?
My dad, beef stew. My mom,
Stewed beef?
you know, it's hard to identify, something that my mom, cooks best. She has stuff that she has cooked more often than not. Well, not more often than not, but, there's stuff that she has cooked more often than other things. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's her best dish. But she also just makes a lot of different things. So,
Alright.
especially since she's kind of also gone at least partially vegetarian lately, so it's kind of like, nothing against any vegetarians watching, but just vegetables don't do it for me.
God, what's that thing I heard once? I eat vegetarians for breakfast.
I mean, if you're having, bacon or, a steak and eggs, then yes.
Chicken.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Are there any animals that people normally eat, or that we normally eat, that aren't vegetarian? I know you can eat carnivore, you can eat, alligator and stuff, but that's not... We don't normally eat, alligator, crocodile, lion... Snake.
Snake. Snake. Snake.
Snack? Alright, if you could only pick one, would you choose cake or ice cream?
Ice cream.
Yeah, I think, generally speaking, same. At what age does a person become old?
Yes.
Uh,
It comes out okay.
not a specific age, but I would say the point at which they start shaming other people for having fun
Oh.
in ways that they are no longer capable of having fun.
I mean, I've heard teenagers start throwing around, oh,
Big and
that's
strong,
cringe.
okay?
Which is
I hope it
basically
comes out
the same
okay.
thing. Trying to shame people for having fun.
Yeah, well, that's why I clarified and specified, shaming other people for having fun in ways that they're no longer capable of doing themselves.
Oh, you kids, stop your skateboarding.
Exactly.
I used to be an adventurer like you till I took an arrow to the knee.
Alright!
I got a skill point right as I walked between the lava plumes. What timing?
Big and strong, okay? Real
Hey,
big and strong, okay?
What's the best thing about your siblings?
Alright! I hope it comes out okay.
I think for me, it's low expectations. My siblings don't really expect anything from me, and that works out fine.
Sounds kind of sad, to be honest.
Ouch!
When I helped assemble my brother's computer for him, I got him some like cheap stickers online, and he was like so grateful for them. But when I'd ordered the stickers, I'd gotten like, I think I ordered from like Redbubble, so I got like, hey look, it's like a Redbubble sticker, whatever. As just like a free thing from the placing the order. So I gave him that one at first, like, hey, I got your sticker for your computer. It's like big,
Real big and strong,
red.
okay?
It's like,
Real big and strong,
and he's like,
okay?
oh, thanks, and he like took it. And it's like, oh, it's like, no, Chase, that was a joke. Like, here's some actual like Undertale stickers. I'm sure you'll like more.
Yes!
It's like, here's some stickers that you'd actually like. Alright.
There, don't bully your brother.
Alright. We have time to do more questions. Let's see if... Alright. What's the #1 item on your bucket list?
Buy a bucket.
Own a real human bucket?
Yeah.
Real big and strong, okay? I hope it comes out okay.
I don't know. Like, I'm not,
I hope it comes out okay.
like, generally speaking,
Comes out
I
okay.
do the things that I want to do.
Real big and strong, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
I hope it
part of
comes
me,
out
like, I
okay.
kind of want to, like, visit
and
Europe
strong,
at
okay?
some point in my life. I don't know that I
Fun.
consider it, like, bucket list stuff. It's just more, you know, that's something that I would,
Yeah,
that I,
it's a thing
sure I
you
would
want to do
enjoy.
before you die.
It's something I'm sure I would enjoy, but it wouldn't really matter too much to me if I didn't end up being able to do that.
Yeah. Like, I'd love to actually, like finish writing and, like, make my Benellian stories. Like, actually have them, like, be... Maybe not officially published, but at least done.
Real big and strong, okay?
Despite that being one of my bigger ambitions, it is something I don't work on. I often think, what if instead of doing this channel in the first place, if I just set myself a, like, 1,000 words a day goal. Just write 1,000 words a day on at least one of the stories. Because I know I can do that. I can... Heck, if I'm in top form and I have a good keyboard, I can do 1,000 words in an hour. I've done it before. I need a proper keyboard for it, and to be very inspired, or at least inspired. But I can do it. Heck, I wrote for about 2,000 words in 2 hours. But after Coffee Talk, after an NPC in Coffee Talk said, "Oh, writing 1,000 words is so difficult. Oh, writing 1,000 words in a day is so much work." It's like, oh, you want to bet?
Time to eat.
I will be right back, because I need to use the bathroom.
Oh, okay. Ah!
I am sure that was a surprise to you. I never need to leave in the middle of recording to use the bathroom.
I hope it comes out
It would be
okay.
a surprise if you managed to come back before the end of the recording.
Yes, I'm sure that would be surprising.
Delicious! Time to eat! Damn it!
Well, we've saved that last potion there.
I hope it comes out okay.
How's that?
I hope it comes out okay.
Yeah, instead I chose playing games because I thought that this would be more fun than writing. Even though I have no tangible, like, end result for it.
Go big and
Spent
strong,
my
okay?
years playing these games and getting a nice backlog set up, but instead, like, I have computers and stuff I can write with. Who knows, maybe when I'm done here, instead of recording a third video for today that I don't
Watering
have
time.
to do now, I'm gonna just say, yep, the 2 videos are fine.
Watering time. I hope it
Yeah,
comes
2
out
videos are
okay.
fine, and then just, I don't know, try writing a chapter of something. So many interesting and fun characters to write about.
Go big and strong, okay? I hope it comes out okay. Watering time. Go big and strong, okay? Watering time.
I mean, like, the biggest issue is not being able to get, like, the inspiration and stuff on my own. Another moderate issue
I hope it comes out okay.
that I think people will mock me about if I try to complain about it is, like, the lack of a good keyboard. It's so hard getting a keyboard that's actually, like, really good for writing. And a lot of people's like, oh, just use a keyboard, and the keyboard is just as good as any other, right? It's like, no, that's not true. I work best
Big and
with,
strong, okay?
I work best using a particularly small keyboard.
I hope it comes out okay.
The way that I kind of taught myself to type, and, like, I took proper typing classes, they just didn't stick. But the way I essentially taught myself to type requires the use of... Yeah, instead of using, you know, all of my fingers, or 9 of my fingers to type, I use, like, 3 fingers to type with. I don't know why, but I do.
Time to eat.
Like, I am actually kind of... not concerned.
Huh?
Wondering...
Now then, let's see just how big this
Oh,
score
it's
is.
this guy. Isn't he, like, bad?
Alley-oop. Huh? How do you like that?
Don't move. As a ranger of seed, I'm not letting you steal another drop of rune energy.
Do I look like I'll come quietly?
Da-da-da.
Scarlet!
What are you doing? He's getting away!
Ta-da! Using the Rune energy to make dragons. Well, you know, snake. Someone has this little nest by my closet. The blanket fell on the floor by there, so he just sleeps. It's not out in the closet anymore. And if he goes in there, the whole place just smells like cat. I don't know how he does it. All he has to do is walk in and walk back out, and everything smells like cat. Oh look, I have a point of resist poison now.
Watering time.
I didn't exactly resist it, but you know what? Thanks for the point
Comes out
anyway.
okay. Watering time. Watering time. Delicious. I hope it comes out okay.
600 rune points, 763 health.
Time to eat.
Probably should have saved before doing this. I'm fine.
Watering time. I hope it comes out okay. I hope it comes out okay. I hope it comes out okay. Oh, right.
But it's definitely a thing
We'll big
with the
and
Rune
strong,
Factory
okay?
games where I mean, yeah, Rune Factory 4 and 5 are just flat my favorites. Because I don't ever have to really feel bored in them, I guess. I don't really hope Rune Factory 6 is much the same. I really hope that...
Watering time.
Yeah, I guess... What, the thing... Rune Factory 1... 2? And I think maybe 3. In the early game, trying to grind for experience was really annoying. Because it would take like an entire episode just to kill a few monsters.
Right.
And I just work so long and barely get anything at all.
Watering time.
But Rune Factory 4 and 5, like, yeah, even if it was just a watering can, it took so long before I could just reliably kill monsters. But now I could just like boop 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 boop. I don't have to work on just grinding levels during spare time.
I hope it comes out okay. Time to eat. I hope it comes out okay. I hope it comes out okay. I hope it comes out okay. Watering time. Watering time. You're big and strong.
And then, of
okay?
course, the boss fights. Rune Factory 4 and 5 definitely have more
Big and
boss
strong,
fights
okay?
than Rune Factory 1, 2, or 3.
You're big and strong.
Like, I'm already on my third boss, and
Damn it.
what episode is this? Sometimes I want to say 10. It's not 10. What, episode like 15 or so? Hold on. If I go back... I'm in my file folder this right now. Episode 13. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, episode 13. And I'm already on my third boss.
Hello.
Time to eat.
Hello!
I hope it comes
So
out
have I
okay.
surprised you?
Oh my gosh, you're back?
I knew
Well, you
it.
know what I have to say about that?
Watering time.
Time for a
Hope it comes
tutorial?
out okay.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Rune Factory 5!
Oh.
Big and strong, okay?
I didn't make it back in time then?
No, I'm joking.
Meanie.
You...
Time to eat.
Alright. It's time for more questions of things. I'm pretty sure we did this one already. What's the best book you've ever read?
Oh, yeah, best book I've ever read.
Go big and strong.
Yeah, didn't we
Yeah,
have this
no, I don't
question
have an
already?
answer. I don't have an answer.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? Yeah, you get some... Yeah, you win some sort of lottery. You can get a nice house anywhere in the world.
Oh, like, so, like, okay. So not, like, okay. Probably Switzerland.
Yeah, Switzerland is pretty good. It's like... Yeah, all of the moving costs and becoming a citizen are covered. But... you'd still have to learn the language. Yeah, Switzerland and Canada are both nice places.
Well, Switzerland is, one of the great things about Switzerland is that it's one of the countries in the world that, recognizes, like, legally recognizes poly relationships.
Neat.
They won't legally perform, like, they won't legally, like, do, like, poly marriages or whatever. But if you have one, and there's only a few countries in the world where you can, they will legally recognize it. So, which is nice. In my opinion.
Alright. What's your go-to comfort food?
Huh?
This is just too rich. Things are moving faster than I expected.
Good question.
Scarlet?
Probably chips.
What to do?
Oh god.
That's my comfort snack food.
Farm dragon.
Look, I got another farm dragon.
Thank you.
Oh gosh, what pet peeve drives you the craziest?
She's fatigued, and there are some signs of memory loss. But
You.
she's mostly unharmed. With enough
Is that a
rest,
valid answer?
she'll be right as
Wait,
rain.
me?
Yeah.
I drive you the craziest?
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
You drive me crazy.
I suppose.
See, I was gonna say, people flicking their cards. It didn't used to bother me, but then, like, it seems like a lot of people just took that as an invitation. Oh, try harder. Like, I legitimately once played a game against someone who, basically the entire game, is like they're slapping their microphone with their cards.
Ah.
Like, we played for like an hour and a half. It's like, oh no, that's just... my microphone just picks that up. It's like, the cards being slapped are louder than you. I can barely hear you talking. But the cards slapping your microphone are very, very loud. Oh, I just do this so I can, like, concentrate. Just, like, I want to just, like, do, like, a demonstration of what it was like to deal with that person, but I don't want to annoy anybody who'd be listening to it, including you. It was like thunk, 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 thunk. Constantly. You know? Oh yeah, no, I just do this to concentrate. It's like... no, it's like, oh, I just do this to fidget. It's like, no, you don't do that to fidget. You don't slap your hands against each other just to casually fidget. It's like, oh, well, some people need to fidget. No, that is not a fidgeting thing. That is a I am going to annoy my opponent until they make a misplay, and then I can try to win the game off of it. It's not, oh, well, I have to do this thing. It's, oh, I'm trying to do this as a strategy to win the game thing.
Yes!
It's like when someone had learned that there was a Yu-Gi-Oh card,
Well,
2-card Yu-Gi-Oh combo where you could force, the other player to accept a handshake. So they play the 2-card combo, stick their hand down their pants, and then offer their hand for a handshake. And the other person would always just concede as opposed to taking the filthy hand.
yes.
That's
What?
disgusting.
Yes.
Yeah, people who play card games competitively can indeed be rather disgusting with things, and it's like, you're playing a children's card game, calm down. The official ruling given for the handshake thing was you can accept the idea of the handshake without actually having to shake the person's hand physically.
Heh.
I don't know if the guy got in trouble for doing that.
Yeah? No mistaking it. Yes. All right.
But it's, yeah.
Oh,
Like, I've seen things that people have written about how
Thanks, but
stuff they've done while
my
playing
name.
card games, and like, even when it's the person writing out what they did themselves, they still very much come across as the bad guy.
hey!
Like, one guy who potentially one person who allowed their opponent to intentionally break one of the rules of the game in order to determine the winner of their tournament, of their game in the tournament, and then got all surprised and flustered and upset afterwards when they were given a game loss for it.
Yes! No. Right. That makes
It was
sense.
like game 3 of the match, or was it game 2? Yeah. Yeah, I think it was like game 3 of the match, but like he was like ahead. So like if he wins this game, he wins the match, but if she wins the game, then they have a tiebreaker or something, so it might have just been game 2. No. Right. Game 1 was he won, game 2 was a tie. So game 3, if he wins, then he wins the match. If she wins, then they tie the match. But she can't actually win the match at this point.
Right.
They played through about 3 turns of the game, and she was stuck on like 1 or 2 lands, whatever. Yeah, she was stuck on like 1 land, and if she can't get her second land, she is going to wind up losing. And it's
Right.
like the middle of his turn, and she just says, "Hey, can I just look at the top card of my deck? And if it's not a land, I might as well just scoop now because I'm going to lose this game if this isn't a land anyway." And the guy was going to do like a few more things during this turn, and he just says like, okay, sure. So she looks at the card, it's not a land, she concedes. That's illegal. Because, according to the rules of Magic the Gathering, there was nothing within the rules that would have allowed her to look at the top card of her deck at that specific point. If, say, he had gone through the rest of his turn, she drew the card, and then said, "Oh, this isn't a land, I'll concede," that's completely fine. At that point, she would have been allowed to do that. Even if mentally, like, it not being a land is why she conceded, she was able to draw the card and look at it, and thus would then be able to make that decision.
Yes!
But since instead they used something that wasn't allowed, since he had allowed her to cheat in the game to determine the outcome of the game, they both got a game loss. Or not a game loss, a match loss. Because
Ooh.
imagine what would have happened if she had looked at the card and it was a land. Is it now her turn? Does she get to play it? Does she get to look at the card? It's like, oh, it's a land. Okay, I'll keep playing. What if she looked at the card, saw it wasn't a land, and said, oh, it's a land, I'll keep playing anyway, and just, well, now she got to look at her top card for free.
Mm.
And then maybe, like, next turn before she draws, she does something to shuffle her deck so she doesn't get that card. And because he allowed her to cheat, he was also in trouble. If, say, she had just looked at her card and conceded, he wouldn't have been in trouble because he wouldn't have allowed her to cheat. Or if he had said no and she did it anyway, then he wouldn't have allowed her to cheat and he wouldn't have been. But because he was like, oh, sure, okay, I guess, he was in trouble. And it's like, he released like a 1,000-word thing about how it's like, oh yes, this young, prim, and proper lady that I know because she's so-and-so and she's like top of the whatever food chain. Like, oh, she's so, like, she's a tournament level player, but she's also just a girl, and I didn't want to hurt her so badly by attacking her for like 5 points of damage with my ego deck. I figured I'd just not make her wait through the 20 seconds it would take me to do the rest of my turn, and that I could just I could just allow her to look at her top card and, you know, spare her the misfortune of having to deal with playing in this game for another 20 seconds. So instead, after she scooped, we just sat there for a few minutes, just kind of sitting there doing nothing instead. Like, he was trying to, like, white knight it, but then he also says that, like, when he stormed out of the room and security asked him if everything was okay, he said, is there something I can break around here?
Wow.
Like, it's like, dude, it's like, it's your story and you're painting yourself as the villain.
No kidding.
And I also remember reading a different story. Like, this, I don't think was tournament level, whatever. Some guy who played Yu-Gi-Oh! There's some guy who played Yu-Gi-Oh! And went to his store on a regular basis to play, like, I don't know if these were casual games or events or what. I think they were, like, events, but it's like, you know, store level events. Paying $10 to enter. If you win, you might get, like, $30 of boosters or whatever, you know. So not a big event, but little event. And there was some, like, new girls that come up, and they were friendly to, like, supposedly everybody else except for him. And, like, they wouldn't, like, make fun of him or anything. They would just ignore him. He had tried to, like, talk to them, and they'd just, like, maybe say hello, and then just go back to talking with each other or talking with other people. But they wouldn't give him the time of day, and so he couldn't show them how much of a nice guy, whatever he is. And you know the sort of person. Whatever. So, he had the idea of building a deck around the handshake card I'd mentioned earlier. Played in the event, played against, you know, one of these girls, and it's like, played the handshake card and, like, stuck his hand out. Like, he didn't do anything specifically gross with it, according to him. Just held out his hand for a handshake. And it's like, hey, these girls, they'll shake other people's hands, but they've never shaken his hand. Well, now, haha, you have to shake my hand. And then she's just like, yeah, I accept the idea of a handshake, but I don't actually want to shake your hand. She says, and then it's like, oh, but you have to actually shake my hand, the guy says. Maybe not, knowing the ruling that you don't actually have to touch the person, but just claiming it anyway, just, you know, so he could get a female's touch for once in his life, kind of thing. Female, quote unquote. And then she just, like, concedes the game instead of accepting his handshake. So, and this is in the story that he wrote himself to post online to try to get sympathy, that he started calling her names and ripped up all of her cards Because, oh, well, her cards are cheap anyway. They're not expensive like my cards. So I just ripped them all up because she was nice to other people but would never be nice to me. So I'm showing her that I can be a nice person by ripping up all of her cards. So anyway, then the guy got, like, banned from his, like, local game store. So he posted this online saying, like, oh, why did I get banned? It was her fault for not wanting to be around such a nice guy like me. And it's like, dude, you wrote the story and you are the villain. Like, if it was a case of like, oh, that was what had actually happened, but he wrote the story differently to make himself seem better, and then that would be more expected. But like, no, he wrote the story, and he is the villain of the story he wrote, and trying to get sympathy, expecting what, other nice guys, TMs, to be all like, yeah, you show her, rip up all of her cheap cards, and then don't replace them. So now she has to pay, you know, some amount of money to replace her own cards. Why would a game store? Really, you're just making more money for the game store, because that's where she's probably going to buy the new cards from anyway. But, yeah. You know what? Let's finish off with Trifecta. We're already over time, whatever. Pokemon Tournament. Actual prizes on the line. No idea how much prizes. Could be $50, could be $1,000. No idea. During one of the games of the tournament, someone called for the judge. So, supposedly, and of course the two people have different stories of this, so nobody really knows what well, so the public doesn't really know what happened. Supposedly, player A went and played a card that would have won them the game. With the situation that they're in, if they played this card, they win the game. And then, player 2 took the card and ate it.
Yeah, I've heard that story before.
Yeah, it's like... And then the judges checked the player's deck, noted that it was one card lower than it should have been, and missing that one card. And then player 2 insisted, oh no, he just called the judge on me because he realized that he had accidentally not put that card in his deck at all, period. So he couldn't actually win against me. So instead he just called the judge and just claimed that I'd eaten the card. And it's like, knee-jerk reactions. Like, there's no way someone would be able... There's no way someone would just let someone, like, reach across, take the card, eat it, nom, 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 swallow the card, and do nothing about it until it's done, wait until the person's finished, and then call a judge. Like, if I was playing against someone, like, I don't care about how valuable whatever the card was, if someone tried to eat one of my cards, I would probably just jump the table and try to stop them. Like, I'd get disqualified for violence, but this guy's trying to eat my card. But no, apparently this guy just sat there, watched his opponent eat the card, because that couldn't happen quick. Like, it was in a sleeve. Probably even 2 sleeves. Just ate through all that plastic, completely swallowed it, everything was completely fine. So, oh, you done? Okay, judge? And nobody else was around to notice this happening. Guy didn't raise a fuss while it was happening. Like... Apparently... So it does almost seem more likely that the guy, I don't know, searched through his deck, counted all of his cards, realized that, I don't know, his special card had been, like, fallen on the ground, or, you know, whatever, wasn't in his deck at all. And then just, like, thought about, judge? Yeah, he ate my card. Like, that does seem more likely than someone actually eating the card.
Yeah.
But, considering what I've seen of people who play competitive card games, I could totally see someone trying to get away with destroying someone's card. And just like, what? No, they never had it. They never tried to use it. I should win this. Like, the amount of, like, angle shooting that people do in competitive Magic and stuff, or, like, every little thing that they try to do to get an edge in anything at all, period, is so flippin' annoying. Oh, well, I know that you have that card there that has a mandatory, like, static effect that also applies to me, but since you didn't state that it applies to me, it didn't apply to me. It's like, oh yeah, I know you have this card out that whenever I draw a card, I lose 2 life, but since you didn't say... I mean, I know you said that I lost 2 life on last time I drew a card, but you didn't say that I lost 2 life this time I drew a card, so I played this instant that makes me draw a card, because I think that you're just forgetting about that thing, even though it's not a May, so I have to lose the 2 life. And then when I draw the card and then go to my main phase to start playing, and then you call a judge on it, well, you didn't say that I was supposed to lose the life. That was actually a thing that happened and made into, like, the Magic news. Someone, like, they drew a card, noted that their opponent didn't immediately say, you lose 2 life, and then played an instant speed card that would let them draw a card, drew the card, played land for turn, and then the opponent pointed out, it's like, hey, you should have lost 4 life. Oh, well, you didn't say that I lost life. But they called the judge over, and the judge officially ruled that the person, you know, drew the card per turn, and then before the trigger resolved to make them lose life, was when they played the card to make them draw another card. And the guy was so furious that he couldn't cheat his way into not losing 4 life. Like, he was really angry about it. And it's like, play with the rules of the game. Stop trying to cheat. Someone has a card out that says, like, oh, all, like, mana cost 1 spells are automatically countered. So, of course, the opponent keeps casting mana cost 1 cards, hoping that the opponent will forget that they're supposed to be countered so they can get them through. Apparently that's actually just a common thing. No one individual story about that. That's just a thing that people do a lot in competitive Magic. Oh, well, I know that you have that. A card that's supposed to exile all cards from graveyards. Someone played it. Rest in peace, whatever. The opponent picked up their graveyard, and then the player was like, oh, just mentally like, oh, okay, they're picking up their graveyard to exile because that's what this card does. It exiles all cards in all graveyards. And they're doing that. They're picking it up. Goes about their turn. Doesn't realize the opponent picked up their graveyard. Put it right back down. Well, you didn't say that my graveyard got exiled. Even though it's like a mandatory effect and it's supposed to be, but you didn't tell me that it did. It's like, you picked up your graveyard and then put it back down. Like, you knew that it was supposed to be exiled. Stop acting in bad faith. Gosh. Magic the Gathering would be a great game to play if it wasn't for all the players